Hey Darren, how are you doing? And welcome to the latest episode of the Mind Body Health Podcast with myself, Dave Sheahan, high performance consultant and dedicated for over 25 years to educating, motivating, and inspiring. I nearly forgot my own tagline. Inspiring people just like you in how to lead the best life you can and be the best that you can be. And I'm super passionate about this whole area. I'm super passionate about helping you to regain control of the mind body health area of your life in particular, and how then that can impact every other area of your life. And I'm super passionate about making a difference. And my life is dedicated to it day in, day out. It's what I live for. It's living for helping people just like you in every way I possibly can. And the Mind Body Health Podcast is just another way for me to do it on top of all the other ways I'm doing and other ways that I'll do in the future. Today's topic is really important. It's a big issue. It's something that I suppose summarizes very, tightly a lot of different issues that I speak about and I try to impress upon you. And it's how the modern lifestyle is poisoning your body and creating illness. So how the modern lifestyle is poisoning your body and creating illness. Now, what do I mean by that? Doesn't it sound very extreme? Literally lifestyle is poisoning your body and creating illness. Like, how can that be? Let's go through it step by step. Okay. And let's look at all the different areas. And as you know, I speak a lot about the mind, speak a lot about the body, speak a lot about health. That's why, again, the mind body health area is something I'm so passionate about, but also general lifestyle, societal conditioning. It's an area I speak a lot about as well. And more so in the last year and a half or so, where it's become even more important to get this message out there. But I want to go through each little area and kind of show what lifestyle is like for the majority of people, because again, you can't generalize. There's certain sectors of society who do what they should be doing. I would count myself in that, but unfortunately that is the minority. And also, I'm constantly trying to see how I can improve my life and improve my longevity and improve my ability to have independence even when I'm 80, 90, 100, or way on into 130 or so, which is what I'm aiming to live to, because we can live to that type of age, or even there's reports now towards 200, but it depends on how we're living. And this is where our lifestyle is killing us, poisoning us. Now, if we go back a couple of decades, the lifestyle was killing people younger. So they put out a lot now about, how people are living longer. Okay, living longer and healthier and stuff like that. That's not the case. That's not the truth. Of course, some people are, but for the vast majority, what's happening is they're being kept alive. They haven't got good quality of life. They haven't got proper independence. They can't do what they want. They're suffering from illnesses and diseases and popping pills like crazy. And the number of pills they take is increasing. The number of procedures they have to get is ongoing throughout their life. So it isn't a high quality of life. So what's happened in the last couple of decades is that the whole pharmaceutical industry in connection with governments and everything have basically created a situation where people are being kept alive. So they can say, mortality rate is much higher, or in terms of the age is much higher than it was. People die in their 80s now versus in their 60s, like back in maybe the 50s and 60s. But the thing is, most of the time back then they died naturally, or they may have died from diseases. But now it's a case of people are being kept alive and being kept alive from medication. So that's not solving anything. We're not tackling the main issues. People get sick for a reason. If you ever get sick, it's for a reason. It doesn't matter if you just have a little sniffle and a little bit of a cold, or when you get some big disease like heart attacks, diabetes, or cancer, or something like that. Something has caused it. It doesn't just magically happen. Okay. Same as people getting depressed, same as people having no energy, same as people just can't even get out of bed at all. We create our reality. You're creating your reality today by your actions and your decisions. What you do today is going to impact the future. So we're constantly creating a reality, and we need to start taking personal responsibility for that. And this is why I want to speak to you about how, the modern lifestyle is poisoning us. Okay. If you choose to live that way, that is. And for some people, it's that they're ignorant to the reality and ignorant to the truth of what's going on, or the way they live, or the impact of how they live, or the choices that they make. Many people are bought in from the marketing that's there. They trust it. They trust that the governments are doing what's in their best interest. They trust that marketing is in their best interest, which governments, industries, marketing, they're only in for profit. Simple as that. Healthy people make no money. Get that into your head. Healthy people make no money. Okay. So the more issues people have, the more money they have to spend on medication, and the more they'll spend on shite food and stuff like that, and bad habits, because that's what they do, not take personal responsibility for their lives. So the people, which is a small minority, who take personal responsibility for their lives and are very conscious of living a healthy life and living a life that serves them and gives them good quality of life and energy and allows their brain to work optimally and their body to work optimally, and they're always looking at how to improve. These people make no money. And I would count myself in that. I've met all the different industries, no money. for decades, apart from the food industry in terms of I buy food, but I'm even looking where I can grow my own now. That's it. I don't give money to pharmaceutical industry, the medical industry, supplement industry, even the health and fitness and wellness industry. They don't make anything out of me. I'm useless to them. I may as well be dead because I'm of no use to them. Okay, where someone who leads an unhealthy life doesn't take personal responsibility, they're a gold mine. And if you take millions and billions of those, that's crazy money. And this is why healthy living is never promoted. Where do you see it promoted? And if it is, it's only a sprinkling among all the other stuff that promotes unhealthy lifestyle habits. Okay, so let's start with the mind, because again, I'm always telling you the mind is control tower. Okay, and let's look at two things: the mind and the brain, because they're while they're the same, they're different. Now, in terms of the mind, how much positivity do you get every single day? How much do you hear? You know, in terms of, again, what we're being fed. So on radio, on TV, in newspapers, on magazines, even counting people, how much positivity do you get? Now, it's predominantly negativity, right? So when you're surrounded by negativity, when you're being bombarded with negativity, what do you think that's going to do to your mind? It's going to make it quite negative, yeah? It's going to create negative emotions, going to create a toxic environment. That's going to create actual toxins. It's going to affect your hormones. It's going to affect the way your body works. It's going to affect everything. Okay. Also, when we feel stressed like that, we release things in our body that are bad, and they create more toxins. And toxins cause diseases and ailments and pains and fat and all the different things that are bad for our body. So when you're mainly consuming negative stuff, negative material, negative information, it can only do harm to your body. It's like someone who gets told they've got cancer. If they think they're going to die, you know, immediately think, oh, I'm gone, I'm dead. Most time they're dead in a couple of weeks. If someone else is told and they go, no, I'm going to beat this thing, and they do the right things, not all the time, but more often than not, they will survive and they continue to live on for years, because your mind is a control tower. Okay, your mind is so important. So in terms of poisoning our bodies, you know, if we're consuming mainly negative material and information and being surrounded by negative people predominantly, that's toxic to our body. That's toxic to our cells. Our cells react to what we give it and what we do with it. Okay, and the messages we give it. And we're given negative messages, that's toxic, and it's going to lead to disease and illness. So a lot of disease and illness is because of what's going into our minds. And it's a huge part of it. You know, huge part of it. It's like people who have trauma in their lives or have had before. A lot of time that trauma, suppressed trauma, leads to many different illnesses and addictions and diseases and illnesses and ailments, because again, it's a toxic environment within. You look then at what people are consuming in terms of our brain. Your brain consumes 20% of the calories you consume. So if you're consuming bad calories and bad foods, and mainly processed and toxic foods, your brain is consuming that. That's what's in your brain. That's feeding your brain. That's what your brain has to work off. That's its fuel. Now, is that going to serve you? Of course it's not going to serve you. It's going to damage you. It's again creating more toxicity. More toxicity leads to more illness, more disease, and so on. Okay, like I said, poisoning your body and leading and creating illnesses. Okay, so that's just your mind and your brain. Let's take our bodies. Okay, what are we putting into our bodies? What liquids, what foods? Most people are consuming huge amounts of coffee just to survive their days. Lots of sodas, things like energy drinks, like Red Bull, Monster, all those things. You know, teas and that, while they're not that harmful, there's no real benefit to them. Alcohol is becoming a bigger and bigger issue as time goes on, because people need that bit of escapism, and also become normal in society now to drink every day. And more people are starting to do that. Alcohol has zero benefit to our body, zero. It's purely toxic and acidic. So it has such an impact on the way our body works. It has such an impact on how we sleep, the depth of our sleep, and then that is like a domino effect, how that impacts day after day, week after week, month after month. So what we're putting into our bodies predominantly is toxic, processed food, convenient foods, fake foods. How many times have you cooked real food? I mean, real food from scratch. How many times a day do you do that? How many times a week? How many times a month? Most people mightn't even do it once a month. You know, it's all convenience. It's all processed food, ready-made meals, crap food, not even food. Okay, and that messes up our bowels, our intestines, our digestive system, our excretory system. That then has an impact on everything else. Do you see how everything leads together? And that just creates a toxic environment. It creates a lot of poisoning within the body that leads to illness and disease. Okay, so our food choices are massive. Like, I personally make as much whole food as I can pretty much every day. It's from scratch. It takes time, it takes dedication. Sometimes, depending on what you're having, it may cost a little bit more, but it's worth it, because your health is your wealth. And I want to live a long, independent, thriving life. You should want that too. You know, I want to be in control of my own health. I don't want to be passing it off to the pharmaceutical and medical world. because that's not their responsibility. It's my responsibility to take care of me. Does that mean I'll never have to use that world? Of course it doesn't. Sometime in my life I may need it. And that's great. And it serves a purpose. I'm not saying pharmaceutical and medical shouldn't be there. They play an important role, and they've played a huge role in saving many, many lives over the years and giving people better quality life. But I'm talking about it from a general overall point of view. It's literally poisoning and killing people, and also at the same time keeping many people alive a lot longer than they would be otherwise. Okay, and that's not living. So again, we're poisoning ourselves with what we're consuming, even liquid-wise, and the food, what we're putting in. So poisoning. Again, the reality is most diseases are lifestyle diseases. Could even say all diseases are lifestyle diseases. And you could throw in cancer, diabetes, heart disease, all these different things. It comes from something. It's like a little thing chipping away, chipping away, chipping away, and then it becomes a big thing. If you have consistently got the wrong habits, bad habits, it's going to impact your health eventually. It will eventually bite you in the ass. So I can people say, oh, this one, she drinks and she smokes and she eats what she wants and she looks great. She's still slim. It's not fair. Well, no, it is going to bite her in the ass sometime, because she is at some stage going to get a terrible disease that will kill her. And she, right now, I'm sure, isn't experiencing exactly great health and energy, if she was to be totally honest. So what we see on the outside sometimes isn't always showing what's really going on. It's what's going on the inside that matters. And this is where it's actually better off if you gain weight really fast, if you show poor health really fast, if on your skin and all it shows poor health, if your body reacts badly, your brain reacts badly to poor living lifestyle habits, you're better off. It's not the other way around. You're better off your body keeps screaming when it needs to scream, because then it gives you an opportunity and the option to do something about it. Unfortunately, too many people don't do anything about it and keep doing the same things, which are poisoning their bodies and destroying their lives ultimately. So, that's just a food, that's a liquid, that's where you feed your mind. Look at life in general. Look how stressed people are. We live in a hamster wheel existence where it's all pressure, pressure, pressure. People are under enormous stress and pressure just to pay bills. They're under enormous pressure and pressure, sorry, just to keep up with the Joneses, just to try and achieve the standards society says that you're supposed to reach, and that this is what success is, this is what happiness truly is, this is what fulfillment is, and an unattainable level, unattainable bar that's there that people strive for. People are always comparing themselves to other people. Like we live in a society that has created this situation where it's impossible for people to be happy. It's impossible for most people to lead healthy lives unless they stop, look at the reality and make their own choices and stop being led by society. Because like I said, society, what's pushed on it is being led by industries, led by governments, led by the motive of profit, and that's it. And healthy, happy people make no money. I can't stress that enough. Healthy, happy people make no money. And you need to get that into your head. And what do you want to call that, conspiracy theory or what? It's fact, okay? Or if you stop for a second and think about it. Think about what's put out there all the time. Think about what's promoted all the time. It's not healthy lifestyle habits. It's the odd, as I said, sprinkling here and there where governments look like they're trying to do projects and have objectives to make a difference, but they soon disappear and it's back to the usual unhealthy habit promotion. Same as all marketing on TV and radio and magazines and everything. It's very easy to make people healthy if you push out the message. It's like the message has been pushed out to scare the shit out of people and keep them under control for the last 18 months. If the energy had been put in, and the money, look at the amount of money, if the money and energy had been put into promoting healthy lifestyle habits, just imagine the difference there would have been in the world. Just imagine the amount of less suffering, less starvation, less deaths from malnutrition and homelessness and all these different things, suicides. The money is put where it makes much more money. It's not put where it needs to go. People are pawns for profit. We have to start realizing that and stop living in denial. It is the fact, it's the reality, it's a sad reality. But we can change that reality if we take personal responsibility for our lives. So we need to stop being part of this stress-induced hamster wheel existence. We don't have to be part of it. You have a choice. You can press stop. You can live the life that you want to live. Yes, you have bills to pay, but you don't have to be sucked into the whole stress-induced environment that is created. Okay, you don't have to be keeping up with the Joneses. Be you. Be your unique self. Embrace your own uniqueness and live your own uniqueness. That's what matters. Happiness is individual. We need to strive for our own happiness. So in this stress-induced lifestyle that people live, that creates so much toxicity within the body in terms of the cortisol release and everything, and the lack of sleep and the poor lifestyle habit choices. And all that happens is, again, you're poisoning your body. It's constantly poisoning your body from your choices, what you're putting into your mouth, what you're putting into your mind, the life that you're living, the impact it has on your sleep, all the stress is created. All these things create poison in your body, toxicity. And toxicity then leads to disease and illness and ailments and all this kind of stuff that negatively impacts our lives. And what happens then? Typically, we go and we medicate ourselves to be a solution for it, or we avoid it and we make even poorer lifestyle habit choices, like someone who starts to feel like they're fat and unhealthy and can't move and they're unfit and they feel sorry for themselves. So what do? They go and they live even worse. Instead of going, right, I'm going to do something about this, and they start to exercise and eat healthier and make meals from scratch and eat more veg and drink more water. Most people go the opposite direction. They start eating more shit. They start poisoning themselves more. They start drinking more, taking drugs, smoking, whatever it might be, getting less active. This is where it's about taking personal responsibility. So most people actually start to poison themselves more. That means they need more procedures in the body. They need more medication. Each one has side effects. Each one leads to more. And this is where people in their 50s, 60s, 70s can end up with 40, 50, 60 tablets a day just to keep them alive, basically, just to prevent them dropping dead, just to prevent them from feeling terrible pain every single day. That is not living. That is not living. That means you're slowly being poisoned. Our water is poisoned. What they put into our water, all the fluoride, chlorine, all the different chemicals just to get it out the tap at 7.365 pH, which is legally what has to happen. But what's coming out is not just water, it's all those chemicals, chlorine and fluoride. Fluoride is one of the most poisoning substances you can consume. Chlorine, all the other chemicals, is not good for you either. So water is poisoning you. As said, lifestyle habits are poisoning you. The food you consume is poisoning you. The liquid you consume is poisoning you. What you're putting into your mind is poisoning you. Your lack of sleep is poisoning you. Radiation from the phone, EMF, electromagnetic frequency that surrounds us more and more so the more you live in a city, having things charging, Wi-Fi. Do you see how it's constantly poisoning? If you take any form of medication, poisoning. More medication, increased poisoning. See what I mean? So basically, how this is what I'm explaining. The modern lifestyle is literally poisoning your body and creating illnesses. But the good thing is you have a choice. You have a choice how to live. You have a choice what type of water to drink. You have a choice what kind of food to eat. You have a choice how much vegetables and fruit you consume, which should be the main foundation of your daily lifestyle. You have a choice where to cook from scratch now. You have a choice to move your body and exercise. You have a choice when you go to bed and what you do before sleep, whether it improves your sleep depth or not. How much sleep you get, you have a choice. You have a choice in terms of how much radiation you expose yourself to, how much electromagnetic frequency you expose yourself to. You can't totally eliminate it unless you live in a rainforest, but you can decide how much you're exposed to. You decide how you're affected emotionally and how you react emotionally. You decide the people you surround you and who you listen to. You decide what information you consume from radio, TV, newspapers, magazines, and so on. You decide all this. So this is where it is a choice. There are no excuses. You must take personal responsibility. It's totally up to you. So you need to stop this poisoning. Do you want to live a healthy, fun, vibrant, fulfilling, successful life, a long life, an independent life, one where you can do whatever the hell you want and you feel amazing, you feel energized, you look amazing, your brain works optimally, your body works optimally? You can do it, but you must make the right choices. And if you're not making the right choices, it's not going to happen. It's as simple as that. So stop poisoning yourself. Start educating yourself. I share lots of stuff on all these podcasts where I'm giving you the facts. Question the facts if you want. Question what I'm saying if you want. Message me anytime, querying, questioning, even attacking what I'm saying at times, and let's have an adult discussion on it and respect each other's views and opinions and share and see where we end up after it. I welcome your feedback. I welcome your questions. I welcome even your attacks, because it's about sharing information, about sharing opinions, and going for the truth, finding the truth, and then living with the truth. And when you know the truth, you have a choice on whether you take it on or whether you keep ignoring it. And that's your choice. Okay. So I'm attempting every day and decreasing the level of poisoning that's going on in my body, because I want to prevent illnesses and diseases and all forms of ailments and want to live a long, healthy, vibrant life. You have the same choice. Are you making that choice or not? So let's stop poisoning ourselves. Let's get aware of the reality of the world that we live in. The world we live in can be amazing. Aspects of it are amazing, but it should be way more amazing. And aspects of the current world we live in are pretty horrendous and disgusting and sad and greedy and selfish and money-driven and power-driven and control-driven. But we each have an individual choice we can make. every single day, every single decision, every single action. You make that choice. There's only so much control that can be over you. You decide so much. Okay, so let's decrease the poisoning. Let's increase the vibrancy and happiness. And I hope this episode has really made you think about what's going on in the world. Really made you think about your own choices in life, and really made you think about whether you take personal responsibility for your life or not, and your health and well-being, and your mind, body, health, and all aspects of your life. And if you can say, no, I'm not actually taking personal responsibility, or I'm not taking as much as I should, I hope this particular podcast will stir you into action to take more from now on. Remember, step by step, every single day, keep getting better, keep focused, keep working on how you can improve and become a better you and lead your best life. We all have that power. You have that power. Let's stop poisoning our minds. Let's stop poisoning our bodies. Let's stop creating toxicity, and let's live our best lives and healthy and vibrant. So this is the Mind Body Health podcast with myself, Dave Sheahan. Hope you enjoyed that. Leave a rating and review on any of the podcasting platforms you listen to this on, or on YouTube. Let me know your questions, your feedback, topics you'd like covered, and I'm here to help any way I can. Remember, I'm only ever a message away. Have a good one. Speak to you next time.